Dave is entering his 5th season as the head coach. In 2014, the Panthers were 1-9 overall, 1-7 in the conference, tied for 8th place. 6 starters return on offense, 6 on defense. Ladies and gentlemen, head coach Dave Harper.
First, I would just start off thanking Dr. Broughton. I know she had a meeting, and she's a phenomenal president. And you look around and what she's done here in her 10 years is just unbelievable. Also, Coach Naff, my athletic director, and all the support he's given me, especially over the last couple years, and Gary. The relationship that we have and working together, it makes my job a lot easier. So I appreciate it. The food services, Allison, people don't realize is my first real job here. I worked in the cafeteria, so I know what those people do. And my hat's off to Allison and her group for the lunch. It's interesting, how life goes. And I'm a very transparent person. And the thing that starts with us is me. And it's not about the wins. It's about fearing to lose, hating to lose. That's what you got. You got to hate to lose. And that's what we got to have this year. We got to have that mentality about us. We coming out of the spring, we had 76 players in the spring. And when I walked off the field with our new defensive staff, I said it was a pleasure, with our staff and the commitment they made this spring. Especially on the defensive side of the ball, just the way they communicated with the kids, and it was just a pleasure. And I thought we had a really close, tight-knit group out of that 76, with some really good football players. The challenge now is like Bill said, he took my line, is can we win check-in? Out of that 76, which one's going to come back, and all the challenges that happens in their families, along with school and financial, and there's a lot of things that people got to deal with over the summer. The thing that we hate as coaches, especially at Division III, you have spring ball. We were done, I think it was April 13th or something like that, and then you lose your players for 3 months. Now it's on them. And one of the things we said to our players when they left, will you bet on yourself? You got to bet on yourself. If you ain't betting on yourself, then something's wrong with yourself. And so hopefully our players is doing everything right now they need to do to make sure when check-in on the 15th happens that we win that day, because we have to win that day. That's the most important day right now on our calendar, without a doubt. Coming out of the spring with those guys, we put kind of a new system in defensively. I think that helps with our personnel. Last year at one point in time, we started 7 freshmen on defense. That was pretty much through the season, and that's a special group. I thought last year defensively, one thing that we did, we ran around to the ball. That's for sure, and we tackled well. Now they got to take the next step. They're not freshmen anymore. I don't want to hear that deal. And then offensively, the key to us, without a doubt, is our offensive line. If our offensive line does not come off the ball and put their face on people, we're going to have a long season. But it definitely starts with our offensive line. And I like that group. It's a veteran group. One of our team captains that we named in the spring, Brian Smith, who's here. I appreciate some of the players showing up today. He had a real good spring, but he's got to help us get that group going, And the other team captain right now is Thomas Betts. He'll be a senior linebacker. And once again, he's got some work to do over there to help those guys. But our character of our team and who we are coming out of the spring, I really enjoyed. We'll have to see what happens on the 15th. Questions? Yes, Steve. Well, we had Harvey's there, and Harvey Taylor, who tore his ACL in the last game of the season, so he didn't really take part in spring ball. Anthony Merritt, another young man, he moved from receiver to quarterback. He was a quarterback in high school, I I like those two coming out. You know, Harvey, what he did last year for us. Anthony, what he had. I thought he had a good spring. You know, and then we got two young guys, freshmen coming in that I like their talent. You know, so it'll be a battle. I think for a while, and we'll, you know, if we, you know, my very first year, or I guess my third year coordinating offense, had two young guys, and we rotated them. You know, so I've been around that part of it also. You know, so you know, besides the offensive line, obviously your quarterback makes you run. No matter what, you know, there's no question about that. So, you know, it'll be interesting how Harvey recovers from his injury. You know, first time contact, all that stuff. It will be new to him. So, hopefully, you know, one of those guys will step up and make great decisions during camp and take that leadership role and run with it.
Any other questions? I'd like to thank Coach Dave Harper from Ferrum College. Our sixth place team.